Good morning, guys. Well, obviously, it might be afternoon where you guys are. Just finally got the release from the club about the main Mason Greenwood situation. I'm going to read it to you. Um, Apparently, that if you get a couple people to complain about stuff, then we try to destroy this kid and this family's life because of it. I think they'll be fine. He's going to find a place somewhere to play from Manchester, and hopefully they'll have a great life together. And I hope at some point he'll get his redemption back. But I want to read what's in this statement from the club. I'm very sick right now. There's no way that this club, if they actually thought that what he was accused of doing, that they'd want to keep him back, or that he would not have already been released. He would have already been gone. But I'm going to read this as much as I can. And those of you who don't know me, and they might get this video because I'll put it out there and somebody might see it on my channel. I have problems because of a stroke I had a long time ago. And it still affects my feet, my speech a little bit. So I'm really trying to calm myself, because when I get emotional, I'm not really emotional. I don't know the guy, but I know I've just seen this happen so much time across my life, and in my role as a men's rights advocate. But anyway, let me read it to you. Just came out about probably about 8 minutes ago. Well, 9 o'clock here, so that would be what, 3 o'clock in England. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. Now, I as we knew that, I think the idea was he was going to come back, and then these groups and other things who didn't know everything started protesting and they basically censored him. But anyway, Manchester United has concluded its internal investigation into the alleged made against Mason Greenwood. Our process commenced in February of 2023. There are a lot of people online that said that the club had known this for so long. They should have already done this, and they had all this time to do this. They didn't do anything because they weren't supposed to do anything. If he would have ended up being going to charged and go to court, why would they do anything? So they started after the charges were dropped. Now listen to this and tell me where the club did wrong here, because all the other fucking pundits out there are saying that the club's been wrong here. Throughout, we have taken the accounts for the wishes, rights, and perspective of the alleged victim, along with the club's standards and values, and sought to collate as much information and context as possible. This has required us to proceed with sensitivity and care to obtain evidence not in the public domain, included from these for those with direct knowledge of the case. Who could that possibly be? It has to be the victim, allegedly. Mason, probably their phone records or something. But anyway, based on this evidence available to us, we have concluded that the material posted online did not provide a full picture of that Mason did not commit the offense in respect of what he was originally charged. That said, as Mason publicly acknowledged today, he has made mistakes which he is paying. See, I'm getting upset now. Which he is trying to take responsibility for. All those involved, including Mason, recognize the difficulty with him commencing his career at Manchester United. It is now therefore been mutually agreed that it would be most appropriate for him to go away from Old Trafford, and we will now work with Mason to achieve that outcome. It's on the website, so you guys can look at that, and then you can respond to what I'm going to say here. As I said last week, there's more information here. I'm not going to speculate what was going on there, but again, in this society, we still have to have in these type of things that we always have to give all the responsibility to the male in this type of situation. We did not know what led to that. We do not know. She didn't want those pictures to be out there. She said her phone was hacked. Bro, the fact that the club basically says he's innocent, but we can't have his redemption here. We can't have him to do something good in the community. If he did something that was not what he should have done, whatever. But we're just going to throw it away. We're going to say go somewhere away from that, because we can't have this discussion about how sometimes in relationships this shit happens when somebody has the power in it. And everybody thinks that Mason had it. She had this information over him to use it at any point. And people say, good, it's time for him to leave and all that stuff. And then the people that only support him are people from Africa. I've heard this. Well, nobody that looks like him or doesn't look like will never support for him. I'm like, I look at the entire history of the entire thing, because I've seen it happen so often with athletes, and what this happens. The club basically exonerated him today. Even though they could just said this based on what we have, it's just best he leaves. But they defended him. She's there with him, probably in the room, saying this is probably what happened. And they used the word alleged. They didn't call her a victim. Oh, but it's clear that he wanted to stay. It's clear that she wanted to stay. I'm sure she has families in the area. She has a young kid. But we're so high and mighty that we think that we should decide for them what they're going to do. They wanted to be together and play in Manchester for the team that he grew up with, that he's been there since 7 years old. He's got issues. We know this. Wasn't he the guy that was in Iceland and he had to get sent back home because he had girls in his room? Now, somebody brought that up in my comments the other day. It wasn't that long after that this happened. I can sit there and make so many scenarios. Maybe she had this all set up because he was screwing some other girl there, and she wanted to hold it over him. I said, I'm gonna put this out there, and then it got cacked. And then what is she gonna do at that point? She's gonna say, oh no, it's fake. Women get into this stuff and they get in this denial stuff, and they will lie. We had a guy here in the United States that went to jail for 6 years because a woman said he raped her, and he was supposed to be a great football player. Was a top recruit. I think his last name is Brooks, or Billy Brooks, or Billy. If you want to look it up, it was a Georgia case. It was a black. I think they're both black, but they were a black athlete, and he went to jail for 5 or 6 years. And when she finally admitted to it, she just laughed at it. And she also got money from the state for it or some bullshit. And I think the only reason why he got out is because the state found out that she lied, and they wanted to get their money back. He was still in fucking jail. I don't know. That sounds like my other son getting home here. It was my fear all along that there was something more to this. How many times do you have to hear the statement that there's evidence that's not in the public domain, that the club, I don't give a shit. Well, you can't investigate your own self. Why would they keep him if they thought that what he did was what he did? This would have been gone already. He would have already been decided this way, or the statement would be totally different. It's time we released Mason Greenwood, but that would be the statement right now. but he's been at the club for 12 years or 13 years. To have a relationship with the player, and it's more than just a player, that's basically his other family. And you just wanted, and I told Mark this the other day, it's like, what do you want to do now? You're going to forget about due process. You're going to forget about what you did as a cop to understand that you just don't put people, we're not in a mob mentality based on what you think, because what you think or you see isn't always the correct thing. I'll probably talk more about this in a couple of days, maybe. I don't know. Because obviously I'm going to wait and see how they respond. I'm sure it's going to be everywhere. They're going to go lie about it, go lies about it, or live, have their own stream out there. Maybe somebody will come to their senses and said, maybe we thought too much about this, but they won't, because all along this is what they wanted. And they'll think it's a good thing now because apparently our team is playing so poorly that this is not gonna be a distraction anymore. Well, I just hope he has a great time away from Old Trafford. I'm ashamed for the people that wanted to basically feather them already without looking at the facts. Anyway, I don't know the guy. I don't know if he's a good guy or not. I just use my experience that I've seen this my entire life. I always believe the same thing that 99% of people believe, that always believe women, that always think that as men, we look at other men and say, oh yeah, men would do that. We never support each other. All his friends probably left him based on this allegation. Why she's still with him or he's with her? I don't know. Like I said, it could be just their relationship is that they love each other so much that they need to be together. And I don't know. I hope at some point later on that it all comes out. I don't know if at that point we'll believe anybody at that point. She wanted him to stay. And we just decided, no, we don't want what she wants. Because clearly, men are just evil. And we have to train everybody this way. But anyway, I'm going to stop with that. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll talk about it. You guys have a good day. Bye.